The male's head is black. The dense hair around the head sticks out, making the head look big. The boundary between the black and white parts of the head is clear. The neck, back, and wings are black. The sides are brown. Distributed in central and southern Canada, and northern and Central America, it lives in swamps and ponds with many trees. It is distributed in northeastern Europe, North America, and Asia along the Arctic Ocean, and lives in coastal and tundra areas. Males have a black body, white or pale yellow neck and chest, and rainbow colors on the face and head. The female is brown overall, and the feathers on the edge of the wings are black. During the winter season, they live in large groups. It is distributed from Mexico south to Uruguay and Peru. It stands out well considering its size. It has sharp claws that allow it to grip tree branches, so it lives in trees in dense forest areas near water. Although it is called a Muscovy duck, its grass-eating habits are closer to those of geese than to ducks. It breeds in the Holarctic, northern Eurasia, and polar regions of North America, and winters in Europe, East Asia, and western and eastern North America. It has a long tail like a land pheasant, has a unique appearance, and is said to have excellent diving abilities. Males have long and unique middle tail feathers, so they cannot be confused with other species. They change their feathers and their feather shape varies depending on the season.
It breeds in China, Maritime Province, Japan, and the Korean Peninsula, and is colorful, with a variety of colors, including orange. The beak is red and the tip of the beak is white. In females, the entire body is gray-brown and the beak is black. They make nests in rivers or between tree trunks, and live in groups in rivers, beaches, and reservoirs during the winter.
The male's head is black. The dense hair around the head sticks out, making the head look big. The boundary between the black and white parts of the head is clear. The neck, back, and wings are black. The sides are brown. Distributed in central and southern Canada, and northern and central America. It lives in swamps and ponds with many trees. It breeds on the Kamchatka Peninsula east of the Yenisei River, and winters in Korea, Japan, and China. It breeds in small lakes, riverside willow grasslands, and estuaries. Most of the wintering flock comes to Korea. During the day, they rest in groups in lakes and wide rivers, and as the sun sets, they fly into agricultural fields and eat fallen rice grains. It breeds in northern Eurasia, northern England, and northern North America, and winters in Europe, eastern China, and the east and west coasts of North America. They live near the coast, estuaries, and rivers. Instead of forming large groups, small groups act at a certain distance. Unlike the Mergus merganser, the tip of the upper beak is not curved downward. The base of the beak is thinner than that of the duckbill.
It breeds in northern Eurasia and northern North America, and winters in southern Europe, India, Southeast Asia, southern China, and southern North America. After creating waves on the surface of the water, it exhibits a unique feeding behavior of catching aquatic plants, aquatic insects, and plankton floating on the water. Easily distinguished from other species. It is characterized by a wide and long beak. They act in small groups. The body length is 52-57 cm. The male's head, back, and wings are light gray, almost white. It lives in the tundra area, close to the sea. It swims and catches, and eats crustaceans and mollusks. Distributed along the Alaska coast and northeastern Siberia. From March to April, they migrate to their wintering area, St. Lawrence Island in the Bering Sea. It breeds in the Russian Far East, Kuril Islands, Kamchatka, Chukot Peninsula, Aleutian Islands, and western and southern Alaska. It builds a nest by digging a burrow in the ground near the coastal cliffs of an uninhabited island with lush grass and rich soft soil. They breed in large groups. They live far out in the ocean, diving and eating fish, squid, and invertebrates. It is a large, 50 to 71 centimeters long, puffin native to the northern coasts of Europe, America, and eastern Siberia. They lay their eggs in the Arctic region, but migrate south from temperate regions when large flocks form on the coast. Nests are built around the sea, and in the case of females, their chests are covered with eiderdown.
It breeds in the Russian Far East, Kuril Islands, Kamchatka, Aleutian Islands, southwestern Alaska, and northern California Islands. They breed in large groups and live in distant seas, diving and eating fish, squid, and invertebrates. It is the largest of the sea ducks. It is black overall. The head is large and the beak is heavy.
It breeds from Europe to Central Asia, and winters from the Mediterranean coast, North Africa, and Persian coast to India. They usually live in groups at their wintering grounds. During the day, they alternate between resting and vegetarianism and eating aquatic plants. They live in lakes and rivers and rarely go to the beach. When flying, broad white patterns are visible on the wings. It is native to Australia and is characterized by its dark grey color with white spots. In the case of males, there is a bright red pattern on the border of the face and beak. It lives in shallow waters and wetlands with lush vegetation. When it is not breeding season, or during the dry season, they move to open water areas without bushes. It breeds in the central Eurasian continent, and winters in North Africa, South Asia, China, Korea, and Japan. It is completely orange, so there is no confusion with other species. The head is light in color, and the beak and legs are black. When flying, the wing coverts appear white. They gather in groups in somewhat dry places such as rice paddies and fields, eat grass stems and grains, and move to wetlands to rest. It is distributed throughout East Asia, including Korea, Japan, China, Russia, and Sakhalin, and winters in Southeast Asia. The body has scale patterns, and the wings are shiny. It is a medium-sized bird with a size of about 55 to 63 centimeters. It is an omnivorous bird that eats water plants and aquatic insects, and its call is similar to that of a mallard duck, regardless of gender. It breeds in the Eurasian continent and northern North America, and winters in Europe, Kamchatka to eastern China, Korea, Japan, and Alaska. It mainly winters in estuaries, lakes, and rivers. It dives and eats crustaceans, mollusks, fish, and aquatic plants. The head is large, compared to the body. Unlike the northern white-cheeked duck, the forehead slope is not severe. It breeds from eastern Europe to around Lake Baikal. In winter, it winters in Europe, North Africa, India, eastern China, and Korea. In groups, it dives and eats crustaceans, plant stems, roots, aquatic plants, and seeds of rice plants. The beak is slightly long and the upper beak is concave. When flying, unclear grey-white wing lines are visible. It breeds in the northern part of the Eurasian continent and North America, and winters in the temperate zone of the Eurasian continent and North America. Often form large groups. It eats aquatic plants and plant seeds in the water. It often moves to the coast to look for food. It has a long tail and a long and thin neck. It breeds in the northern and central Eurasian continent, and winters in Africa, India, and Southeast Asia. During the day, it puts its beak to the surface of the water and eats aquatic plants and aquatic insects floating in the water, and at night it moves to rice paddies and wetlands to eat rice. Slightly larger than the Eurasian teal. When flying, the first wing feathers appear blurry. It is native to Europe and Asia, and is a winter bird that mainly spends the winter in fresh water such as rivers and lakes. The mane-like feathers on the head are neat and stylish, as if they were combed with a comb. The size is about SIXTY 6 centimeters and the weight is about 1.0 FIVE ONE 0.25 kilograms. The diet is omnivorous. It breeds in the northern part of the Eurasian continent, and winters in southern Europe, North Africa, the Middle East, and from South Asia to East Asia. They mainly rest, or eat in rivers, lakes, etc. during the day, and move to farmland in search of food in the evening. As a small duck, the male is not to be confused with other species. Females are difficult to distinguish from American ducks. Its main habitat is a fairly high latitude area between 60 and 70 degrees north latitude, and the taiga is an area with many ponds. It spends the winter in lakes, rivers, coasts, farmlands, and streams, and searches for food in open areas such as lakes and coasts during the day. As omnivores, they move to rice fields or wetlands in the evening and stay there until morning. Coasts during the day. It breeds in eastern Siberia, Sakhalin, Kamchatka Peninsula, and Hokkaido, and winters in Korea, Japan, and southern China. During the day, they gather in small groups in lakes, wetlands, and coastal areas to eat aquatic insects and aquatic plants or take a nap. Starting at dusk, they fly into agricultural fields and look for food. The pattern is so unique that it cannot be confused with other species. Breeds in the northern part of the Eurasian continent, and winters in the temperate to subarctic regions of the Eurasian continent and in North Africa. During the day, they rest in the center of the lake or eat plant seeds and grass stems on the surface of the water. The blue-gray beak is short and has a black tip. Females are very difficult to distinguish from American red-headed ducks. It is native to Europe, North America, and Asia, and lives in rivers, estuaries, and reservoirs. It is omnivorous and mainly eats leaves and stems of aquatic plants. The size is about 40 EIGHT-FIFTY1 centimeters. The body is brownish-grey, and there is a white area on the back of the wings, which can only be seen in birds in flight. It lives in South Africa, especially Senegal to Chad to the west, and Ethiopia and South Africa to the east. Their habitat consists of lakes, ponds, swamps, and wetlands, where they are well camouflaged from predators. The reddish-brown and blackish-brown feathers on the back and sides, including the upper wings and the lower belly, have a wavy pattern. It breeds east from Europe to Mongolia and northeastern China, and winters in southern Europe, northern India, eastern China, and Korea. It mainly eats crustaceans and seaweed in the tidal flats of estuaries, by skimming its beak across the mudflats. The head and shoulder feathers are black with a green sheen, and there are orange-yellow stripes on the chest and back. The red beak is curved upward.